So y'all, I got a story time for y'all. Don't worry, this is not the emotional roller coaster like the last one was. This is actually kind of funny and kind of inspirational. So this story time is about the day I met Oprah Winfrey. Yes, girl, I met Oprah Winfrey. So if you know me personally, you know that Oprah in my head is like my BFF. Like, me and her are like thick as thieves. Like, for real, we are like BFFs. So she did this tour called, pardon me y'all for eating my tour with my mouth, talking with my mouth full. She did this tour called Live the Life You Want Tour, or The Life You Want Tour. And the closest location to Jacksonville was Miami. Hubs knew I wanted to go. Hubs knew I wanted to meet Oprah. Child, them tickets to meet Oprah. First of all, the ticket to get in was already expensive. But the VIP ticket that would actually get you into the meet and greet with her was $1,000. But I wanted to go. Hubs knew I wanted to go. I was like, man, do I really want to spend $1,000? So, you know, I toggled back and forth with it. Hubs called me one day and he said, get the ticket. Imagine my shock and my surprise when he said, get the ticket. I was so surprised, y'all. He knew how much I wanted to meet her, and he absolutely made it happen, because you know how sometimes, as badly as you might want to do something, you will never do it for yourself. Isn't that weird? But you are always the one to do something for everybody else. Crazy how that works. But he came in, absolutely made it happen. We went down to Miami. It was a 2-day event. The first day, she had this whole area set up on Biscayne Boulevard, down where the American Airlines Arena is, where the Heat plays. She had this whole, almost like a carnival. I mean, there were no rides or nothing like that, but it was like an interactive experience where your entryway to, or your entrance into the, I don't know, I don't even know what to call it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but whatever it was, you had this plastic bracelet that lit up. And that bracelet contained all of your information as far as what your status was, whether you were VIP, regular ticket, what kind of access you were granted, right? So, went in, it was celebrities walking around the park. She had food trucks, food vendors. IKEA was a huge vendor. Toyota was a huge vendor. Everything was very interactive, y'all. It was so nice. The bad part is it rained so bad. I ain't care. I still went. I'll insert some pictures so you can see what I'm talking about, because I cannot think of the word to call this, where she had this her festivities at. You could take pictures. You could put your picture on a magazine. It was just very, very, very Oprah-esque, very interactive. That night was the first day of the Live Your Life conference. And that night, she had different guest speakers. And it was just very motivational, very uplifting. You got this bag with all of this stuff, t-shirts, hoodies. I mean, it was just really, really nice. So that night on the stage, she had, like I said, guest speakers. Some were just regular people like you and me who were had inspirational stories to share. Some were people that had some celebrity to them. She had Aaron Brockovich there. She had Iyanla Vanzant there. There was a teacher that she brought, because you know Oprah is huge on education, so she had this teacher, or she may have been a retired teacher at that point. She also had an athlete that was a, what do you call the athletes that, she had a artificial leg. Beautiful lady, but she was an Olympian. I cannot remember her name. But anyway, everybody spoke. Iyanla closed out the show, of course, and she is just as sassy on stage in person as she is on her Fix Your Life series. But they closed out the night, and then the second day, the weather was a little bit better. Went back to the park. Everything was still very interactive. Had live bands. It was just really, really nice. And then that evening, you went to that's when Oprah was going to speak. There were no guest speakers. It was just her. Y'all, that lady came on that stage. The crowd went wild, of course. She spoke for about maybe 2 hours. And just speaking on why she named it Live Your Best Life for obvious reasons. And then after it was over, you were ushered into the VIP cocktail hour. They had food, drinks, no liquor, of course, because, you know, Oprah ain't want to be responsible for nobody going to wreck the car or whatever. So they had food, refreshments, like sodas, teas, coffee, that type of thing. All of the women were given roses. It was so nice. Then all of a sudden, she comes out, y'all, in her beautiful red dress. I think it was a red dress. And that's where the meet and greet happened. You went in, she took a picture with everybody. Your ticket price included a picture with Oprah. You did get to chat with her, not for like 5 or 10 minutes, but you did get to exchange pleasantries and stuff like that. Y'all, when it was my turn, I was talking to that lady. I think I swear I had to say 5,000 words in the little bit of time I was standing there talking to her. And she and I took a picture, and she smelled so good, y'all. I wanted to say, what perfume are you wearing? Child, knowing I couldn't afford nothing that lady had on probably. I was holding that lady's hand so tight, y'all. I was like, oh my God. But of course I fanned out. I ain't embarrassed to say it. Yes, I fanned out. You got your picture right then. They put it in a nice cardboard frame with the Live Your Life branding on it. My husband came to pick me up. He and I went somewhere and had dinner. Because at the cocktail hour, it was just, you know, it was cocktail food. It was light. It wasn't meant to get you full, but it was enough to satisfy you while you were waiting. Making everybody's acquaintances while you were mingling, waiting on the meet and greet to start. So he and I went and had dinner somewhere, and I kept that picture out on the table, y'all, like it was a picture frame the whole time. That experience was so amazing. I came back with a new attitude. Like, I started doing things differently at work. It was just my whole outlook on a lot of things were renewed, and some of my outlook on some things were shifted. I actually had set a plan in motion to make some major moves, and I was on the path to do that. But then a year and a half later, my son got sick, and life happened. And I'm just now getting back on track to where I'm putting myself in a position to where those things that I had to put on hold, several years ago, I'm in a position to where I can do it now. My son is healthy. But that whole experience, y'all, I know some people have their mixed feelings about Oprah. I have always admired Oprah. I've always admired where she came from. I've always admired her tenacity, her outlook on education, especially as it relates to young Black and brown girls, her initiative for education in Africa. I was able to meet her then right-hand woman, Sherry, I think her name was Sherry Shalasa or Sherry Shalahi. I can't remember how to pronounce that lady's name, but I'll insert a clip of her, and I had taken a picture somewhere. But that was my experience meeting Oprah, y'all. It was so fun, and if you know me, you know how much that impacted me. Oprah is one of the people that I admire the most. One of, not the most, but one of the most. And something she said when she was on stage and she was talking about her childhood, and she was talking about how her, I think it was her grandmother, used to work for white families, white affluent families as a maid. And she said she can remember once where she went to one of the homes that her grandmother used to clean, and this family had this real beautiful oak tree in their yard, and she just remembers saying to herself, this is what rich is. And she got on that stage and she reflected on that, and she said, look how proud my grandmother would be of me today. My grandmother worked for she worked for people that now work for her, if you can read between the lines and get what I'm saying. And she also said that what she thought made her rich, that big beautiful house that they lived in and that big beautiful oak tree, she said she didn't even have a clue of the level of where her life would take her. That was powerful, y'all. It was an amazing experience. She just did another tour in early 2019. I didn't go to that one because those tickets for the meet and greet, I want to say, were like $2,000. And I'm like, yeah, I would love to meet her again, but sometimes it's better to leave stuff where it is and let that memory stay where it is. So didn't go. Can't say I won't go if she does it again, but that was my experience meeting Oprah, my story time. I hope you all like that story. I'm not the best storyteller, if you can't already tell, but you get the gist of what a girl was trying to say. So I'll insert some pictures from that weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't judge me for how I'm looking, because I know if you've been at home all day, you probably looking the same way. I'm just joking. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.